everybody. Nicole O'Brien here. It says we're working. All right, cool. You might be sleeping when I'm doing this video, but if you're not and you're joining me live, hop on into the comments and say hi or live. When you watch the replay, type #replay. Last week for our live, I went over a lot of mistakes and things that have just happened over the years that I personally overcame for my weight loss and transformation. And then tonight, I'm going to give you and lay down my exact plan that helped me drop 36 pounds and a ton of inches and clothing sizes. And I've never felt better, to be perfectly honest with you. But you'll see tonight, I literally failed my way to drop that 36 pounds. So you don't have to be perfect, on point, have the perfect plan, have the perfect day, have the perfect schedule. There's actually no such thing. So I'm really happy you guys are on. Hey everybody. And if you want to share your goals for the week, we do this in our private groups, but why not do it here? So share your goals or intentions, whatever you want to see for yourself for this week. You can share it in the comments to help inspire other women or men if they're watching, and we can all get this ball rolling. So let's talk about my exact plan that helped me drop 36 pounds. If you're just hopping on, that's what we're talking about tonight. Last week, if you didn't catch last week's, I talked about everything that would have stopped me that I went through, and now we're going to talk about the actual plan that worked. So first, I made a decision. I always had a plan in front of me. I was in a workout plan, a nutrition plan, things that would work. Systems work. That's the bottom line. It's us as humans that don't let it work, and that's just the reality of what I was living. Plus, I was stress eating and all that other stuff. But I had an actual plan in front of me this entire time, and it just was not the right timing, mental state, any of the above. It worked for a little bit for me, and then I just had to tweak a lot of things, including up here, which was make the decision. I kept seeing people that were my age, their kids were the same age as mine. There was no excuses. They had a busier schedule. They had all the reasons not to get results, and I kept seeing them get the results that I wanted. So what I started doing, instead of comparing myself to them or getting discouraged with myself, what I did was I started to, they share a lot of stuff in their stories and on social media. So I would watch a couple times a week and see what they were doing that was different than me. And I started taking in just a couple things each week. I just wanted to see what will work for me, right? So I wrote down my goal. I wrote down my goal weight. And you know, if you work with me, we're not all about the scale. I tell everyone to take pictures, but you need to tell yourself when you're ready where you're going. You need like a direction. That's basically what I did. So I made a goal weight, and I wrote it down. And I wrote it down every day. So I don't know about you, but when I don't have a crazy morning, what I do is I write down my goals for the week, my intentions, my short-term, long-term goals. They're written down. It's pretty repetitive, and sometimes I add, sometimes I forget to write a couple things, but I always wrote my goal weight down. And like really big goals, smaller goals, long-term, short-term, if you want to take that tip. So I wrote that down every single day, and I also started implementing what these other moms were doing that were getting the results that I wanted. And one of the things that they were doing was drinking more water. And I was drinking about a gallon of water a day on a good day. And let me tell you, that took years for me to get up to that. So if you're not drinking, I don't want to blow you out of the water and make you think like you can't have these results. I drank 0 ounces of water for years and years and years. And then finally I would drink a gallon of water on a good day, right? So I knew it was possible. And I remember those days where I would finish a gallon of water and be like exhausted from it. So if you're there, that's okay. So what I did was I saw this one girl drinking 2 gallons of water a day, and I'm like, oh, fine. Like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. So I drank 2 gallons of water a day. Not every day, I worked up to it. So I increased my water intake. I'm just telling you 2 gallons because I'm being honest and giving you my exact plan that worked. If you need to just increase your water to 80 to 90 ounces, that's going to work for you too. Because what happens is you flush out what you're holding on to. For me anyway, I definitely needed it. It was definitely a game changer. And that's one of the biggest habits that I copied off of another mom that had results that I wanted. I also had to change some eating habits. So I don't know, is anyone else a skeptic out there, or you don't think things will work for you? You can say me, I, whatever you want to say in the comments. But I'm a huge skeptic, believe it or not, when it comes to programs and plans and new things I have to watch and learn and doubt and all that stuff. So intermittent fasting, I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. For years I would have clients over the years and like, I'm starting intermittent fasting. I'm like, oh my God. Like I was like so negative about it. And I don't think it's for everybody. And on the best days I did it, it was great. But it took a little while for me to get into this system. So I started intermittent fasting. I don't know why. I don't remember the day that it started. I don't remember. I just remember researching, learning about it. I saw that you could eat from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then the rest was your fasting schedule. Because I don't do like the 24 hours, the 72. I personally don't do that. So I admire those people, but I don't do that. So I knew that I could eat from either 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or beginners can eat from 12 noon to 8 p.m. So I chose the 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it was a very challenging thing for me. And that's what I needed. I needed a big challenge. I needed to drink more water. I needed to do this challenge for myself and basically shock my body and transform and feel better. So I just put myself through a mental boot camp and just did it. And was it pretty every day? No. Did I take a while to work up to that? Yes. And I'm talking like maybe 1 or 2 months. It took me to be not, I don't want to say serious, but more consistent with it. So I chose intermittent fasting, and I just want to talk about tonight, if you're not into intermittent fasting, what I would suggest is to choose a time to stop eating at night. So if you just want to cut out the late night snacks, cut out the second dinner if you're anything like me. You know, moms eat late. Like everyone eats, you're eating the leftovers, and then you want to eat a dinner, like your normal dinner when you finally can sit down. So if you want to cut out that second dinner like I was cutting out basically, or stop eating altogether after 7 p.m., that is a great way to start your fasting. Because if you think about it, what I learned about intermittent fasting is, yes, it's a eating pattern. It's not so much starving yourself, cutting out this, it's an eating pattern, like it's a way of eating, right? An eating schedule. Let's call it an eating schedule. So if you stop at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. eating, and then you start your day normal, like if you want to eat at 8 a.m. if you're an early riser, or even if you don't eat until lunchtime. I don't know. A lot of people don't eat all day anyway, so like it's not a huge difference. But what happens when you're intermittent fasting, which this isn't even part of my life, but I'm going to tell you. When you're fasting, when you're not eating during those hours, your insulin, your natural insulin in your body gets so low that your body starts burning fat. And that's basically what it is. So one, you have to be consistent with it. So if you're going to stop eating at night, that's your plan. Your eating schedule, you eat during the day and you're done at 6:30 or you're done at 7. But you can drink water, green tea, or black coffee around all that. So I did a lot of club sodas at night. I don't know why, but I felt like it filled my stomach up, or I was having something other than water because I was like done drinking water by the end of the night, right? So that was a big deal too. I weighed in every single week, even if I had a bad week, even if I didn't want to, and when I was nervous. So I just weighed in every week on the same day in the morning. Don't mess with yourself and weigh in on Friday night after you ate all day, or Monday morning if you had a crazy, like I always say Wednesdays are a great day. Weigh in Wednesday in the morning, great day. Log it no matter what. You can put in your phone calendar, you can write it in your notebook, you can text it to yourself. I text everything to myself, so I have like a whole text message of information that I send myself throughout the day. You can text it in there just so you can keep track. I weighed in weekly, and I definitely failed a lot. So I failed my way to seeing results. And I was nervous that I wasn't going to see results. And some weeks I saw insane numbers happen, and some weeks it went the opposite way. But whatever happens, you just keep going. Because if you stay in action, just like our 3-day rule that we talk about all the time, stay in action, divorce the results and marry the action. Okay, just keep going and don't give up. Don't give yourself 2 weeks and stop. Don't give yourself a month and stop. You need to keep going. It's something that you need. Your body needs time. I increased my water. Oh, I ate more nutrient dense food. So I eat a lot more eggs now. Just like higher protein. But what I will tell you, what I messed up on is at the beginning, I really had to get my portion control under control, because if I'm eating in an eating schedule, I don't want to eat too much and then not be hungry towards the end of, like, I want to eat before 6 p.m., right? Because I don't want to not eat and then be starving and then want to eat something late at night and then be miserable, because when I'm hungry, it's like I'm really angry. So I needed to teach myself to eat smaller meals throughout the day so I didn't overeat, feel too full, and then screw up my eating schedule. So that was a big deal. That took a while. It felt like a while, and I still do it. Like, it's still something that I work on. I don't want to say struggle with, I guess, whatever. I still fail at it half the time, but it happens because you're a human. I got a great natural fat burner. I started using my collagen, and that's it. I started, that's the plan. So it's really simple. The hardest thing was sticking to it, and you can stick to it every day and start back over the next day. So no one's going to fire you. You don't have to quit at it. You just keep going. And I'll be happy to answer any of your questions about it. And if you have any questions that I didn't touch on, like if you have questions like, oh, did you do this? What if this happened? What about drinks? What about summer? What about vacation? I'd be happy to answer them. I think you should put the questions in the comments so I can answer them and people can see, because if you have that question, a lot of other people might have the same questions. And I think I touched down all my points. I hope this was helpful. If it was, you can always share it out onto your page so your friends can see it and they can ask questions too, or tag one of your friends. Or you can just comment below your questions so I can answer them. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you next week if I don't pop on again this week, but have a great night.